Hello everyone and welcome to another Cyberpunk 2077 video. My name is Brian if you happen to be new to the channel, but if you're part of this incredible 74,851 of y'all who've hit that subscribe button, welcome in and welcome back. If you're part of the 80% who have yet to subscribe, I'm glad you're here and hopefully you get something good out of this video too. Today we're going to be talking about some really exciting stuff when it comes to the reviews. The reviews are pouring in. Overwhelmingly positive, Metacritic rocking an average of 87, OpenCritic showing this at a 90, and I think this is a really good, conclusion, a good tale for what has happened. Now, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Skill Up is talking about why his review is not going to make it live next week because CD Projekt Red have yet again restricted review footage by providing B-roll only. They are not allowed to use their captured gameplay until next week. No publisher or developer should ever impose this restriction in a review. It's BS, and we'll talk about that alongside the leaks of the map, and we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about if you should start a brand new character or if you should continue your existing character. CD Projekt Red has weighed in, and finally they have updated system specs, so you're going to get all of that and more in today's video. Let's kick it off with Synth Potato talking about the reviews, breaking it down by some of the biggest outlets out there. But Legacy Killer HD puts this in his own words. Phantom Liberty is an excellent conclusion for Cyberpunk 2077. Fantastic overhaul for gameplay, completely transforms the experience, alongside with an enjoyable, if not a bit bleak, new narrative that dives deeper into the politics of this hellish future with the new district of Dogtown. Now, I want to spend some time with Skill Up here in this case. He talks about it. Obviously, we read the quote for the first tweet there. He goes on to say, reviewers are where we showcase our experience, particularly as it pertains to actual visuals, performance, stability, etc. They are not a space for developers to showcase more carefully selected B-roll. The good news is this time around, CDPR has nothing to hide. The game's performance and stability is excellent, but that doesn't change the fact that reviews should never be limited to B-roll only. We cannot let this become an industry trend. And this will be interesting to see. Where do you feel reviews ultimately fall in current modern society? I've brought this up time and time again. I feel that we've seen a massive shift for people who are using content creators to figure out if they want to purchase a game or not. And that's not a negative, that's not a derogatory statement. That's just the nature of what content creation and gaming is. However, I continue to maintain that review scores are usually used to justify one's own purchases, as well as kind of putting points up on the board for your favorite team, your favorite franchise. And that is essentially what we've seen the reviewers shift to, where people are using live streams as that deciding factor. Now, you could disagree. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I know that there are still plenty of people who use reviews to decide to make that purchasing power. What I'm basically making the case is that we've seen the majority shift, the silent majority, to how they decide to purchase games. But I'd be very curious as to where you fall. Now, let's break it down. Should you continue with your current character or an existing save, or do you recommend starting a brand new character? And CD Projekt Red says they recommend having a new game with this update. There are so many changes. Starting fresh is going to enhance your overall gameplay experience. So if you guys are going to be starting new, let me know. If you're going to be taking a fresh look, let me know as well. I've played the recent update of 1.5 something, and it's been actually a very decent experience, but I'm actually going to start new with 2.0. What I haven't decided yet is, will I pick the same path, Street Kid, or will I go Corpo or something along those lines? Well, we'll have to wait and see what I ultimately decide to do. Now, as we get into the leaks, before we get into the system specs, we now have a map of Dogtown and a starting quest here, Dog Eat Dog, on display. This was leaked, and it gives you a good idea of where the new content is going to be taking place. Now, it's hard just from this map alone to get an idea of the scope and the scale. However, when we get to go hands-on with it here in just not a couple of weeks, just next week, it's gonna be fun to sit down and share this with you guys as well. But let's talk about system specs. Attention all players, upcoming Cyberpunk Update 2.0 will bring exciting changes to the game, including an updated system requirements. We'd like to remind you that the new update of the game will only support SSDs. Do not forget to check your PC meets the requirements. So they break it down: minimum and recommended and ultra, in-game preset graphics, etc. 1080p, 2160p, all the way in that range. So you can expect 30 frames per second on low. You can expect 60 on recommended and 60 on ultra across the boards. For the operating system, they want you to have a 64-bit Windows 10 edition. For the processor, you're looking at the minimum of an i7-6700 and the ultra ranging into the Radeon or an i9. And the graphics for the CPU, the graphics card. Here we go. GTX 1080 at 6 gigabits at the minimum or equivalent, and then all the way up to the top. They would recommend for Ultra a 3080 or an RX 7900 XT in this case. That's great for me. I also run on GeForce Now. This game supports that, which I have a 4080 over there, which is going to be exciting. I can't wait to see. They recommend for the Ultra settings 12 gigs. Otherwise, you need at least 6 gigs. VRAM for your main RAM, you need at least 12 gigs with 20 gigs for ultra settings, and storage SSDs all around needing 70 gigs of storage space. Anyway, guys, that's the news. That's the breakdown. Hopefully you got something good out of this video. If you feel like it earns it, smash that like button. It's a great way of supporting the free content here on the channel. I'm going to put out, this is a Cyberpunk video. Maybe can we get a humble 25 like goal on it, and that will be a great way of helping to support the video itself. Anyway, I'm just going to wish you guys all the absolute very best. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Until then, take care.